So I reviewed God of War 2018 a little while ago, and I think it was overall overrated. I didn't even bother playing this game when it came out because I just wasn't excited for it. It looked pretty much the same as the last game, but more boring. But I heard from some people that God of War Ragnarok fixed a lot of this game's issues, so I decided to try it out for myself. The visuals were pretty good in this game, just like in the last game, and the 60 FPS is nice. The gameplay is overall decent, but I still have my issues with it. And this game shares a lot of the same issues as the last game. I do mostly like the areas in this game. The combat is pretty much the same as God of War 2018. It's not terrible, but it can definitely use some improvement. A lot of improvement. It's still a bit too stiff for my liking. I think the difficulty was mostly fair, at least on Give Me No Mercy. It felt like my attacks actually did damage, and the enemies didn't do too much, unlike a lot of times in God of War 2018. Although the camera is still way too close during combat. I have no idea how this is still a thing in a game that came out just 2 years ago. This makes combat encounters feel way too claustrophobic, and it makes the combat feel clunky. It's so annoying not being able to see everything that's happening around me during combat. This is the single biggest problem with the combat for me, and it could have easily been avoided by zooming out the camera. There are some serious pacing issues in this game. There's way too many slow moments in this game, and I say it's worse than the previous game. Also, really wasn't impressed by the enemy design in this game. None of them really stood out to me. You can beat most of them in the same way. This makes the combat encounters feel a bit repetitive after a while. The RPG elements are still good. It was still fun tailoring my build to fit my certain playstyle. There's also much more tools and abilities to choose from. The weapons felt fun to use, and I like their moveset and various abilities. I also like the new weapon and how it serves uses outside of combat. I like the boss fights in this game for the most part. They were mostly fun and fair to fight. I do think the sound effects were a little less good in this game. They weren't bad, but they just didn't sound as impactful as the last game. I think the platforming was pretty okay in this game, but it still turned out to be pretty disappointing. It's definitely better in this game than the last game, but it's still not fantastic. I still wish there was more risk in the platforming. There's still pretty much no risk involved in the platforming at all. Like when we climbed the wall in Asgard. Atreus and Skilder talk about how dangerous it is to climb the wall and jokes about Atreus dying. But it would have been cool if the gameplay actually demonstrated some of that risk.